We are present. Can anyone tell? Lower limb. Which part of lower limb?
The medial side of this
Leg. Okay. So this is the medial bone of leg. Last bench, can you see? You can see. Otherwise, you can come here. You can see?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the medial bone of leg. Okay. So this is tibia. Okay. So this is the medial side and this is the lateral side. Clear now? Medial side, lateral side. All of you know about medial side, towards the midline, and lateral away from the midline. Clear? So tibia is the medial bone of the leg. Okay. So now it is homologous with radius of the upper limb. Okay, they have morphologically similar features. That is why tibia is called homologous with radius. Okay, now it has three parts. This is the upper part, this is the shaft, and this is the lower part. Okay, this is the upper end, this is the shaft, and this is the lower end. Okay, now how will you determine the side of tibia? Okay, you will see that the upper end is expanded as compared to that of the lower end. Okay, upper end is expanded and larger as compared to that of the lower end. Clear? So it will be present superiorly. Okay, done. Next is shaft. In case of shaft, you can see this elevated structure here. Okay, this is called as tibial tuberosity. Okay, and this sharp border is known as the anterior border. Okay, this tibial tuberosity and anterior border should be present anteriorly. Okay, so upper expanded and superiorly, tibial tuberosity and anterior border anteriorly, and this projected part, this is known as the medial malleolus. Okay, this projected part, it should be present medially. Okay, 3 points clear. This upper expanded part should be present superiorly. This tibial tuberosity along with the sharp anterior border anteriorly, and this medial malleolus should be present medially. Clear? So can you tell me which sided tibia is it? Right. Okay, so I am holding it with right hand. Okay, if it was left sided, we should hold it with left hand. Clear? Okay. So now I'll describe the upper end. Okay, so you can see this is the medial malleolus which should be present medially. Okay, this is the medial condyle of tibia. Okay, and this is the lateral condyle. Okay, how will you understand that it is the medial one? You will see the medial malleolus. Okay, so this is the medial condyle and this is the lateral condyle. Okay, these two condyles are articular. Their superior surface is articular. Okay, and in between them you can see this area here. This is the intercondylar area. Okay, and in this intercondylar area you can see this elevated part in the middle. This is intercondylar eminence. Okay, and these two projected part, can you see? These two, these are intercondylar tubercles. Clear? I am telling again. Okay, this is the medial condyle, this is the lateral condyle, in between them is the intercondylar area. This elevated part is known as intercondylar eminence, and this two projected part is known as intercondylar tubercles. Clear? Everyone? Should I repeat again? Yes. Okay. See, this is the medial condyle. How will you know that it is the medial condyle? You will see that the medial malleolus is present medially. Okay, so this is the medial condyle. This is the lateral condyle. In between them there is one area. You can see this area. This is the intercondylar area which is present between two condyles. Clear? You will see that in this entire intercondylar area there is one elevated part in the middle. Okay, this is the intercondylar eminence. Okay, and in this intercondylar eminence you will see these two projected part medially and laterally. These are intercondylar tubercles. Clear? Okay. Now this is the medial condyle. Okay, it has a superior surface. This one is a superior, obviously this is the anatomical position, so this will be the superior surface. This is the anterior surface, this is the medial surface, and this is the posterior surface. Similarly, in case of lateral condyle, this is the superior surface, This is the anterior surface, lateral surface and posterior surface. Clear? Superior surface, anterior, medial and posterior. In case of lateral condyle, superior, anterior, lateral and posterior. Done? Okay. So this superior surface of medial condyle and lateral condyle are articular. Can you tell me which type of cartilage is present in case of articular surfaces? Hyaline cartilage. Okay. So this medial condyle of tibia will articulate with which bone? Yes, medial condyle of femur. And lateral condyle of tibia will articulate with lateral condyle of femur, and they will form the knee joint. Clear? Okay. Now, in case of medial condyle, you can see that posteriorly there is one, on the posterior surface there is one groove behind the medial condyle. Okay, this groove gives insertion to a muscle whose name is semimembranosus. Membranosus. Okay, and behind, on the posterior surface of this lateral condyle, there is one oval articular facet. Okay, this facet will be for which bone? Which bone is present laterally in case of leg? Fibula. So laterally, this is the lateral condyle. So on the posterior surface of the lateral condyle, you will get an oval articular facet which will combine with fibula and form the superior tibiofibular joint. Clear? Okay, so should I repeat this again? Okay, so up to this clear, medial condyle, lateral condyle, their surface is clear. So now we'll come to the posterior surface of these condyles. Okay, so in case of medial condyle, posterior, this is the posterior surface of medial condyle. You can see one groove here. Okay, this groove is for semimembranosus. Clear? And in case of lateral, now medial condyle, posterior surface clear. And in case of lateral condyle, in the posterior surface, one oval articular facet will be there. It will be for fibula. Clear? And above the fibular facet, there will be another groove for popliteus tendon. Okay? Clear? Now you see that this is the what surface? Anterior surface. You will see that the anterior surface of both lateral condyle and medial condyle will join to form a triangular area. Can you see the triangular area? So what did I call? What is this part known as? Tibial tuberosity. Okay. So the apex of this triangle is directed downward, as you can see. Okay. So this elevated part is known as the tibial tuberosity. Clear? Posterior surface of lateral and medial condyle clear? Okay, which posterior surface of which condyle will have a fibular facet? Lateral, because fibula is present laterally, so obviously lateral condyle will have the facet for it. Clear? And posterior surface of medial condyle will have which muscle insertion? Semimembranosus. Clear? Okay. So this tibial tuberosity, you can see that the upper part is smooth, okay, and the lower part is rough and elevated and is known as tibial tuberosity. Clear? So I explained the anterior surface, that they are combining together and forming this triangular area. Posterior surface I explained, in case of medial condyle I said that semimembranosus, and in lateral I said that fibular facet, and above it which tendon? Groove for which tendon? Popliteus. Clear? Now, in case of medial condyle, this medial surface and anterior surface will also have medial collateral ligament. Okay, or tibial collateral ligament. Okay, I will show you later. There is one picture I will show you. So, medial surface and the anterior surface of this medial condyle will also give attachment to medial collateral ligament. Okay, and in case of lateral condyle, the anterior surface will have one small tubercle which is known as Jerdis tubercle. Okay, should I explain again? Okay, so first of all, this is the medial condyle. Okay, this is the anterior surface, this is the medial surface, this is the posterior and superior. So first of all, superior surface, what it is doing here? It is articulating with the medial condyle of femur to form the knee joint. Okay, this part. Clear? Then posterior surface, it is having a groove for semimembranosus. Done. Then what is left? Medial surface and anterior surface. What they are doing? They are having attachment of tibial collateral ligament. Okay. In case of lateral condyle, posterior surface, oval articular facet for fibula. Clear? Anteriorly, one small tubercle which is known as Jerdis tubercle. Done. Superiorly, it is having articulating with lateral condyle of femur, and they together form the knee joint. Done. Okay. So see, this is the medial condyle, this is the lateral condyle, this entire part is known as the intercondylar area, and this elevated part is known as the intercondylar eminence, and this two projected part in this intercondylar eminence is known as intercondylar tubercles. Okay, now upper end clear. Okay, now coming to the shaft. Okay, so as I say, this is the sharp anterior border. Okay, you can see this sharp border. Okay, so let me tell first the borders. Okay, so this is the anterior border, and you can see that this is the medial malleolus. So this side is medially. So this will be which border? Medial border. Okay, and this is present laterally. So what is this border? Lateral border or interosseous border, because it is connecting with fibula with interosseous membrane. That is why interosseous border. Okay, so borders clear. Anterior border, medial border, and lateral border. Okay, so this area, as you can see, this area is present between this anterior border and this medial border. Okay, so this area, this surface is known as medial surface. Okay, present between the anterior border and the medial border. This surface is present between anterior border and lateral border. Then this surface will be known as lateral surface. Okay, and this surface which is present posteriorly is present between lateral border and medial border. So this is known as posterior surface. So what are the borders? Anterior border, medial border, lateral or interosseous border, and surfaces: medial surface, lateral surface, and posterior surface. Clear? Clear, everyone? Okay, so you can see this is the anterior border. So this part is, what is this part called? Tibial tuberosity. So this anterior border is beginning from tibial tuberosity. Everyone can see? Okay, so this anterior border is beginning from tibial tuberosity, and you can see that it is going downward and coming here. So what is this structure? Medial malleolus, and in the lower part it is forming the anterior margin of medial malleolus. Clear? Anterior border starting from tibial tuberosity, going downward and forming the anterior margin of medial malleolus. Clear? Malleolus. Okay, now this medial border. Okay, so what is this? Medial condyle. So you can see the medial border is beginning from medial condyle. It is going downward and it is forming the posterior margin of this medial malleolus. You can see? Clear? And this is the lateral border. What is this articular facet present here? I said fibular facet. Okay, so it is beginning from the fibular facet, going downward and forming the margin of this triangular area. What is this triangular area called? It's called fibular notch. Okay, so it will articulate with fibula and form the distal tibiofibular joint. Clear? So this is the anterior border beginning from tibial tuberosity, going downward and forming the anterior margin of medial malleolus. Okay, this is the lateral one beginning from fibular facet, going downward and forming the anterior margin of this triangular area, which is called the fibular notch. Okay, this is the medial one. It's beginning from the medial condyle, going downward and forming the posterior margin of this medial malleolus. Clear, everyone? And you can see that the anterior border is sharp. Okay, so it is also called the sheen of tibia. You can feel sheen. You can feel one structure in your leg, that hard. You can feel this anterior border. It is subcutaneous. You can see in your leg. You can feel that hard structure. This is the sheen of the or anterior border of the tibia. Okay. It is subcutaneous. That's why you can feel it. Okay. Now the surfaces. So as I said, what is this surface called? Medial surface. Clear? How am I telling this as the medial side? Okay. How will you understand? This is the medial. Medial malleolus is present medial. Okay, so this is the medial surface present between the anterior border and the medial border. So it is rough in the upper part. If you touch it, you can feel that it is rough in the upper part and it is subcutaneous throughout. That is, you can feel it, the lower part of the medial surface. Clear? Lateral surface is present between anterior. The bone is like this. So this is the anterior border and lateral border. Okay? And now this is the posterior surface. So posterior surface, yes, medial and lateral. So posterior surface is very important. You can see that in the upper 1/3 part, you can see that in the upper 1/3 part there is one ridge. Can you see? This ridge is known as soleal line. See, soleal line, okay? So soleal line is present in which surface? Posterior surface. Yes, on the posterior surface, upper 1/3 part is having a ridge. Everyone can see? Last? Okay, this ridge is known as soleal line. So you can see that this soleal line is dividing the posterior surface into two parts. This upper triangular part and this lower part. Clear? Everyone? Okay. So this soleal line is dividing the posterior surface of the tibia into two parts. Upper triangular part and lower part. Okay. In the lower part, it will have another faint ridge which will divide the posterior surface again into lateral part and medial part. Okay, so posterior surface, first of all in the upper 1/3 part there will be one ridge which is known as soleal line. It will divide the shaft into two parts, posterior surface. Upper triangular part, you can see now this triangle. Everyone? Last bench, can you see? Okay, and this lower part. And this lower part will be again divided by one faint ridge into lateral part and medial part. Clear? Okay. And do you know nutrient foramen? Have you heard? Where have you heard this? Okay. So yes, a blood supply of humerus also you have heard, na? Yes. So this is the nutrient foramen. Okay. These are the nutrient foramen. Can see? Can you see? Okay, so you can see that this nutrient foramen are directed downwards or upwards? Downwards. So which one will be the growing end of tibia? Upper part. As nutrient foramen are always directed opposite to the growing end. So this end is the growing end of tibia. Nutrient foramen is directed downward. So nutrient artery enters through the nutrient foramen. And the nutrient artery in case of tibia is a branch of posterior tibial artery, and this is the largest nutrient artery. Clear? I am explaining the posterior surface again. Okay, so posterior surface will be divided by this line, this ridge which is known as the soleal line. Okay, it will divide the posterior surface into two parts, upper triangular part and lower part. This lower part will be again divided by one faint ridge into lateral part and medial part. Also, this surface will have nutrient foramen through which nutrient artery will enter, which is a branch of posterior tibial artery, which is the largest nutrient artery. Clear, everyone? Okay, so this is the which end? Lower end. Okay, so this is which surface of lower end? This is the anterior, because tibial tuberosity and anterior border is present anteriorly, so this should be the anterior surface of lower end. Why?
Because the
हाँ मैंने चेंज कर दिया बोन, मैंने अब इस बोन को ले आया. So this is left sided. You can see that medial malleolus is medially, okay, because in this bone you cannot see the soleal line clearly, that's why I changed the bone. Okay, so this is the anterior surface of lower end, okay, and this is the lateral, which is also known as the, what is this notch called? Fibular notch. Okay, this is the medial and this is the inferior. Clear? And this is the posterior. So this anterior surface of lower end will have a groove here. Can you see the groove? It has a groove in the lower end. Okay, this groove. Okay, okay. So lateral surface will have this triangular area which is known as fibular notch, and this is the anterior border and posterior border. So it will have anterior tibiofibular ligament and posterior tibiofibular ligament respectively. Clear? Medially, medial malleolus, and this is the posterior surface. So can you see one groove here? It is present in medial part of the posterior surface. So it is for the tendon tibialis posterior. Okay, so I'm explaining again. This is the lower end, this is the anterior surface, this is the lateral, this is the medial, this is the posterior, this is the inferior. Anterior surface is having a groove inferiorly, medial surface is having medial malleolus, lateral is having fibular notch for articulating with fibula to form the distal tibiofibular joint, and the anterior margin and posterior margin of this fibular notch will have anterior and posterior tibiofibular ligament. Clear? Posteriorly, there is one groove here, which is for tibialis posterior, and inferiorly, this part will articulate with talus. You will not know about talus because it's a bone of foot. You will be taught in the subsequent classes. Okay, so it will articulate with the body of talus and form the which joint? Ankle joint. Okay, clear everyone? Lower end surfaces. Medially, though, you know only there will be medial malleolus. Laterally, you can see this triangular area, fibular notch. Only this part you have to remember. This groove is for tibialis posterior. It is present posterior in the posterior surface. So tibialis posterior. Clear? Everyone clear till now? Okay. Now the medial malleolus. What is the medial malleolus I told? This is the medial malleolus. Okay. So it's a prominent bony projection in the lower end in the medial side. Okay. So you can see this is which surface of the medial malleolus? No, this one, inferior to this one of the lower end. What is this? Lateral, yes. Lateral surface of medial malleolus. It will also articulate with medial side of talus. Same bone, it is articulating with the body. This part is articulating with medial side of talus. Okay? Okay. So, medial malleolus, anteriorly it will have a groove. It is for tibialis anterior. So if I say it together, this medial malleolus anteriorly will have a groove for tibialis anterior, posteriorly it will have a groove for tibialis posterior. Clear? Okay. And tip of medial malleolus will have deltoid ligament. I will show you the deltoid ligament. Okay. And also the tip of lateral malleolus is present in fibula. Okay, so the tip of medial malleolus is located a little higher than the tip of lateral malleolus. Done. So medial malleolus, lateral part articulates with medial side of talus or talus. Just remember talus. It articulates with talus. Anteriorly having a groove for tibialis anterior, posteriorly having a groove for tibialis posterior. Tip deltoid ligament is attached. Clear? So as I said, this is the okay. So you can see this is the talus bone. Okay, you can see the inferior surface is articulating with talus. You can see last bench, and this is what structure? This one, medial malleolus. You can see that it is also articulating with talus. Okay, so both this part is articulating with talus and forming the ankle joint. Clear? You can see here also Okay, inferior surface articulating with talus and medial malleolus also articulating with talus. Lateral surface of medial malleolus. Done. So this is the inferior part and this is the medial malleolus. Yes. Clear? Everyone is getting? Okay. You can tell me which part I have to repeat. Okay, I will repeat again. Okay, so as I said, this is the deltoid ligament. Okay, so it consists of 4 ligaments. This is the deltoid ligament. What are the ligaments? Posterior superficial tibio-talar ligament. I'm saying anterior tibio-talar ligament. Tibio-talar means connecting tibia to talus. Okay, both anterior and posterior. Simple. Okay. Tibio-calcaneal. Calcaneum is a bone of foot again. Okay, so tibia to calcaneum. Tibio-navicular, tibia to navicular. It is also a bone of foot. Okay, so tibia to 3 bones. Calcaneum, talus and navicular. Okay, in case of talus, it is having anterior and posterior. So this 4 together will form the deltoid ligament. Clear? This bone you will see in the foot. Okay. Now, up till now, clear? Any doubt? Any part which you could not understand?
Ma'am, the tibialis anterior part. Tibialis anterior.
Okay, I will show again. Okay. Anyone? Anything? So, tibialis anterior, what I said, this is the anterior part, you understood? So, this is the medial malleolus. Okay, so medially it will have a groove here for tibialis anterior tendon. What's this much only? Okay, posteriorly this groove is for tibialis posterior. Clear? And you, this is the tibial tuberosity. How you know what is anatomical position? Clear everything? So this is the tibial tuberosity and this is the sharp anterior border. This should be present anteriorly. Anteriorly, you know what is the meaning of anteriorly? Okay, so this is posteriorly. Done. This is the medial malleolus. It should be present medially. Okay, this is for left. Understand, this is medially. You know what is medial lateral?
Away from body and near the body.
Yes, which one is away from body?
Lateral.
Lateral. So this is medial malleolus. It should be present medially. So it is near my midline. Clear? Parts clear. Parts, surfaces, borders. Clear? I will repeat at the end again, but till now clear? Okay. Now the muscle attachments, okay? Now what are the muscles that are inserting in tibia? Okay? As I said, what is this part? Tibial tuberosity. So I told that its upper part is smooth and rough, okay? So in this smooth upper part, quadriceps femoris enters. Okay, what is quadriceps femoris? Why it is known as quadriceps? Because there are 4 muscles, that's why quadriceps. Okay, so quadriceps femoris muscle enters in the smooth upper part of the tibial tuberosity. Clear? Semimembranosus, I already told about semimembranosus. What? Medial condyle, posterior surface will have a groove for semimembranosus. Clear? These 2 muscles. In the smooth upper part, quadriceps femoris. In the medial condyle, posterior surface, groove for semimembranosus. Clear these 2 muscles? Then let us move to the medial surface. So, as I told here, this is the medial surface. Okay, you can see these 3 linear vertical lines. Okay, these are 3 muscles on the medial surface of tibia, which enters in the medial surface of tibia. Anteriorly, this is the sartorius, and posteriorly is semitendinosus. Okay, sartorius, semitendinosus. Sartorius you have heard about in hip bone. Scapula sartorius, no. Serratus anterior you have heard about it. Sartorius is in hip bone. Origin is from hip bone. So this is sartorius, this is semitendinosus, and in between them is the gracialis. So gracialis line of insertion is little higher as compared to semitendinosus. You can see in this picture. You can see these 3 linear vertical lines. This is the medial surface. First, anterior will be sartorius, posterior will be semitendinosus, and in between them will be gracialis. Just remember this. It inserts in linear vertical lines in the medial surface of tibia, upper part of the medial surface of tibia. Clear? Now, as I told that soleal line divides it into 2 parts. Upper triangular part, popliteus muscle will be there. So these are the muscles which inserts in tibia. Okay, so first what I said, quadriceps femoris. Okay, why is it called quadriceps? Because it consists of 4 muscles. Okay, quadriceps will insert in upper smooth part of the tibial tuberosity. Clear? Now if I go to the medial condyle posterior surface groove, which muscle? Semimembranosus. Now we'll go to the medial surface. Medial surface, 3 muscles will insert in the upper part. Anterior will be sartorius, posteriorly semitendinosus, in between them gracialis. Clear? And this triangular part on the posterior surface is for popliteus. Clear? These are the muscles which inserts in tibia. Now the muscles which takes origin from tibia. So I told about medial surface. Just now the 3 muscles on the medial surface, you will remember those 3 muscles on medial surface. Sartorius, gracialis and semitendinosus. Okay. Now we'll go to the lateral surface. Lateral surface, upper 2/3 part, tibialis, anterior or posterior, what do you think? Anterior. Okay, anterior. Now I told that in the posterior surface, one faint vertical ridge is dividing into lateral part and medial part. Soleal line is dividing into upper part and lower part. This lower part will be again divided by a faint vertical ridge into lateral part and medial part. Okay, in lateral part, below the soleal line will be tibialis posterior muscle. Posterior, okay, and in the medial part will be flexor digitorum longus. Yes, I will tell again, okay. And this soleal line is very important. You will be asked what are the structures which are attached to this soleal line. So first is soleus muscle. Okay, soleus muscle will be attached to this soleal line, and you can see that soleal line is directed downward. And what is this direction, medially or laterally? Medially. Everyone, last bench, what is it? Medially. Clear? Why medially? Okay, so medially you can see that it is also continuing here. So soleus muscle will attach to this soleal line, and also what is this border? Medial border. And it will also attach to the medial 1/3 of the medial border. Okay, like this. Soleus muscle will attach like this. Okay, clear? And which muscle was there? This triangular part? Popliteus. So this soleal line will have soleus muscle, fascia covering popliteus and soleus, and also deep fascia of leg. Okay, clear? I'm telling again, okay, what are the muscles? Okay, first of all, let's start with tibial tuberosity. Okay, smooth upper part, quadriceps femoris. Okay, done? Clear? This is which condyle? Medial condyle. Can you see the groove? Yes. Okay, which muscle? Semimembranosus. Clear? Okay. Now what is this? What is this triangular area? Which line is dividing it into this triangle? Soleal line. So which muscle attached here? Popliteus. Clear? In the soleal line, what are the things attached? Soleus muscle. It goes by the name of the soleal line. Soleus muscle. Here is popliteus. Here is soleus. So the fascia covering popliteus and soleus, and the deep fascia of leg. Clear? Okay. So then we went to the medial surface. So medial surface was for how many muscles? 3 muscles. In the upper part or lower part? Upper part. So anteriorly was sartorius, posteriorly was semitendinosus, and in between them was gracialis. So clear with medial surface? Done. Lateral. Now we'll go to the lateral surface. Lateral surface, this upper 2/3 part will be by tibialis anterior. Okay, and as I said, below soleal line, this part will be divided by a faint ridge. So you can see that here is tibialis anterior, here will be tibialis posterior, here will be flexor digitorum longus. Clear? See, this is the lateral surface. This is the medial surface. Here is the anterior border. Okay. Lateral surface is for tibialis anterior, upper 2/3 part. Can you see? Medial surface is for 3 muscles: sartorius, brachialis, semitendinosus. Okay. And see, this triangular area is for popliteus. This is the soleal line. So soleus muscle from here to here. Okay. So laterally again, posterior surface, lateral part below soleal line, tibialis posterior, and medial part flexor digitorum longus. Clear diagram? Here also you can see this is the soleus muscle. I don't know, medial 1/3 part of the medial border. See, the muscle is coming from here to here. This is the popliteus triangular part. Okay? Clear? Now the capsule for knee joint. See, this is the capsule. Okay, so is this the anterior surface? This is the anterior, means ventral or dorsal? Which one? This is one. Okay, understood. And this one? This is the posterior surface. Okay. So you can see that this is the capsule for which joint? Knee joint. Okay, so you can see that the capsule will be present. This is the articular surface. This is the articular surface. So little below the articular surface, capsule for knee joint will be present. Okay. Now, which muscle was there posteriorly above the fibular facet? Here one tendon, popliteus. Okay. So you can see that this is the capsule. Okay. Posteriorly it is deficient here. Why? For the passage of popliteus tendon. Okay, everyone clear? You can see that this is the capsule of for knee joint. Posteriorly there is one gap. Can you see the gap? So this gap is for tendon of popliteus. Okay, and anteriorly this is the lateral part or medial part. This one lateral. So anteriorly and laterally it is called lateral patellar retinaculum. What is the retinaculum? Superficial fascia or deep fascia? Yes, what is it? Deep fascia. Yes, yes. Okay, so it is known as the lateral patellar retinaculum, and anteriorly and medially it is known as medial patellar retinaculum. Clear? So posterior and also anteriorly it will deficient for this ligamentum patelli. You can see that anteriorly there is no capsule. Can you see? It is for this ligamentum patelli. What is a ligament? Yes, bone. So it is connecting with patella. Okay. So I am telling again, capsule for the knee joint will be present little below the articular surfaces. Okay. Posteriorly there is one gap for the tendon of popliteus. Anteriorly there will be another gap for this ligamentum patelli. Okay, and this anteriorly and laterally, this capsule will be only called as lateral patellar retinaculum, and medially and anteriorly this will be called as medial patellar retinaculum. Okay, clear? Now this intercondylar area is very important. Will be asked from tibia. This question is very important. Okay, what are the structures in intercondylar area? Okay, so you know about intercondylar area. Which part is intercondylar area?
The one between the medial and the lateral column.
Yes, okay. You know about intercondylar eminence?
The two.
This part is known as the elevated part in the intercondylar area is known as intercondylar eminence. And you know about intercondylar tubercles? This two, elevated part is the intercondylar tubercles. Okay, these 3 points clear? Okay, now what are the attachments? Now there is one mnemonic to learn it. Medical College Lucknow, Lucknow Medical College. The first letter of each word. Okay, how is this arranged? First for M is a medial meniscus. Anterior horn. Horn means the end. Do you know what is meniscus? Have you heard about it? No, not this meniscus. So it's basically a fibrocartilage. It is basically a fibrocartilage which will be present between the articular surfaces of tibia and femur. Okay, clear? It acts as a shock absorber. Okay, it will increase this condylar area so that the femoral condyle can fit into it. Okay, so these are meniscus. So first of all, there will be anterior horn of medial meniscus, anterior cruciate ligament, then anterior horn of lateral meniscus, then posterior horn of lateral meniscus, then posterior horn of medial meniscus and posterior cruciate ligament. So you have to use the mnemonic to remember it. Okay, otherwise you will not remember it. First all anterior, then all posterior. Okay. So this is the arrangement. Okay. First of all, there will be ligamentum patelli. I said that anteriorly the capsule will be deficient for ligamentum patelli. So this is the ligamentum patelli. It is the anterior horn of medial meniscus. This is anterior cruciate ligament, anterior horn of lateral meniscus, posterior horn of lateral meniscus, posterior horn of medial meniscus and posterior cruciate ligament. Okay, Medical College Lucknow, Lucknow Medical College. First letter of each word. Clear? So these are the structures in intercondylar area. It's very important. Okay, it will be asked during your viva. Okay, what are the structures in the intercondylar area? So you have to tell it in sequence. You cannot tell randomly one structure from here, one structure from here. Okay, it should be in sequence from before backwards. Clear? Now, I told about superior tibiofibular joint. Okay. So there is one fibular facet on the posterior surface of which condyle? Superior tibiofibular joint. Okay, so there is one articular facet I told about, oval articular facet which is known as the fibular facet. Yes, lateral condyle, on the posterior surface of lateral condyle. Okay, so it will articulate with fibula to form the superior tibiofibular joint. So where will be the capsule present? On the margins of this. You can see this oval articular one. It can be seen clearly here. Oval. Can you see this? Oval articular facet. So it is present on the margins of this oval articular facet. You can see this oval facet here. Okay, so it is present on the margin of this oval articular facet. Okay, so where will be the interosseous membrane present? Lateral border. Medial border, there is no, it is only present medially. It will not connect with any bone medially. So laterally it will connect with fibula. So that's why lateral border has that interosseous area. That is why it's also known as the interosseous border, no? Interosseous bone, between bones. Okay. Now iliotibial tract. Can you see this triangular area here? This is which part? Can you tell me? This, lateral condyle. What is this surface? Anterior surface of lateral condyle. So it will have iliotibial tract. Okay. Have you heard about iliotibial tract before? Okay. It's a fibrous sheath of deep fascia. Okay. Have you heard about tensor fascia lata in femur? Have you heard the word? Okay, so this iliotibial tract will have this gastrocnemius maximus and iliotibial tract before, and in the end it will join here. It will insert in this part. Okay, this triangular area in the anterior surface of the lateral condyle. Clear? Tibial collateral ligament, I said before, medial and anteriorly it will have, and also in the medial and anteriorly and also in the medial border. Okay. Interosseous membrane, already I have told. Okay, interosseous tibiofibular ligament. See, so what is this notch called? Fibular notch. Okay, why? Because it is articulating with fibula here and forming the distal tibiofibular joint. So interosseous tibiofibular ligament will be present here. Okay, articular capsule for knee joint. This part is taking part in formation of knee joint, so it will be present at the margin of this lower end. Okay. Capsule for ankle joint. Now, so this is the superior extensor retinaculum and this is the inferior extensor retinaculum. Okay, retinaculum now clear, deep fascia. So this is the superior extensor retinaculum and this is the inferior extensor retinaculum. This is which bone? Tibia. So superior extensor retinaculum will be attached to anterior border of tibia. Okay, and the upper limb of this inferior extensor retinaculum will be attached to, you can see that this is which structure? Medial malleolus. So anterior surface of medial malleolus. Clear? Superior extensor retinaculum to anterior border of tibia. Upper limb of this, you can see this upper limb and this lower one. So upper limb will be connected to anterior surface of medial malleolus. And as I told about tibial collateral ligament, this is the tibial collateral ligament. Okay, you can see that it is in the medial part. And this is the flexor retinaculum, which will be attached to posterior surface of medial malleolus. Okay, this is the medial malleolus, so posterior surface of medial malleolus, flexor retinaculum. So anterior part will have extensor retinaculum and posteriorly flexor retinaculum. So this is the superior extensor retinaculum. This is your leg. Okay, anteriorly present the extensor retinaculum. So there are two types. Okay, superior extensor retinaculum and inferior extensor retinaculum. You can see what is this bone. This is tibia. This is the anterior border of tibia. So you can see that superior extensor retinaculum is attaching here in the anterior border of tibia. Okay, and this this entire one is the inferior extensor retinaculum, and this is the upper limb. So it is this is the medial malleolus. This is the medial malleolus. So it is attaching on the anterior surface of medial malleolus. Okay, and this is the flexor retinaculum on the posterior. You can see this medial malleolus here. This is attaching on the posterior surface, present on the back side. So it will attach on the posterior surface of medial malleolus. Okay, and what I told about interosseous tibiofibular ligament, you can see this triangular area. So it is present here. Okay, interosseous tibiofibular ligament. It is articulating with fibula to form distal tibiofibular joint. Clear? Now relations of tibia. So anteriorly, both anteriorly and posteriorly, the lower end is crossed by some structures. Okay, so this is the anterior part of the lower end. So anteriorly from medial to lateral, it is crossed by tibialis anterior. So here will be extensor or flexor? Extensor. I told extensor, I explained that this part will be extensor. Okay, so extensor hallucis means which toe? Big toe. Okay, so extensor hallucis longus, anterior tibial artery, deep peroneal nerve, extensor digitorum longus and peroneus tertius. So you have to tell, you'll be asked what are the structures or what are the structures are present in the lower end anterior part of tibia. So you have to tell from medial to lateral or lateral to medial, whichever way you like. So from medial to lateral, tibialis anterior, extensor hallucis longus, anterior tibial artery, deep peroneal nerve, extensor digitorum longus and peroneus tertius. Okay, see. From medial to lateral, tibialis anterior, extensor hallucis longus. In between this extensor hallucis longus and extensor digitorum longus, there will be anterior tibial artery and deep peroneal nerve. Okay, and lastly peroneus tertius. So these are the structures which are present on the anterior surface of the lower end. Okay, see, this is the superior extensor retinaculum, this is the inferior one. Okay, these are holding these tendons together. Clear? Similarly, posterior aspect of the lower end of tibia is also crossed by some tendons. So from medial to lateral, tibialis posterior, flexor digitorum longus, which will be flexor. Now you know posterior flexor. So flexor digitorum longus, posterior tibial artery, posterior tibial nerve and flexor hallucis longus. See, this is the flexor retinaculum. First tibialis posterior, flexor digitorum longus, posterior tibial artery, posterior, you know nerve is represented by which color?
Yellow.
Yellow. Okay, So tibial nerve, flexor hallucis longus. While writing short notes, please give diagram, okay? Or any answer you have to give diagram. It will carry more marks, okay? So understood now posterior relations of tibia and anterior relations of tibia, okay? Read it once, you will remember, okay? Now ossification. Tibia develops from 3 ossification center. Okay, the primary you know ossification center, primary, secondary. Okay, you have been taught in upper limb. So primary ossification center will appear in the shaft. Okay, it will appear during 7th week of intrauterine life. Secondary center for the upper end will appear towards the end of fetal life, and it will unite with the shaft between 16 to 18 years. Okay, and the secondary center for lower end will appear towards the first year of life and unite with the shaft between 15 to 17 years. Okay. Now joints formed by tibia, you can only tell what are the joints. Knee joint. Here is which bone laterally present? Fibula. So superior, middle and inferior or distal. Okay, knee joint, ankle joint, tibiofibular joint, superior, middle and inferior or distal. Okay, so this is the proximal tibiofibular joint between the head of fibula and the upper end of tibia. Middle is by the interosseous membrane. They are connecting the shaft of fibula and tibia, and distal tibiofibular joint between the lower end of tibia and fibula. Okay, this is the medial malleolus. Okay, now dorsiflexion and plantar flexion. Okay, now this movement is known as dorsiflexion. Okay, this movement of the leg is known as dorsiflexion, and this movement is known as plantar flexion. Flexion, extension, you know. Okay, so this is dorsiflexion, this movement of the foot, and this movement is known as plantar flexion. So can you tell me, I told about the structures crossing the lower end anteriorly and posteriorly. So just tell me, dorsiflexion will be done by those structures which are present anteriorly or posteriorly? Anteriorly. So the structures where tibial is anterior, extensor hallucis longus, extensor digitorum longus and peroneus tertius. Similarly, plantar flexion will be done by those structures present posteriorly. So tendocalcaneus. Tendocalcaneus is by gastrocnemius and soleus. They together form this tendocalcaneus. Okay, tibial is posterior, flexor hallucis longus, flexor digitorum longus, peroneus longus, peroneus brevis and plantaris. Okay, this muscle will do dorsiflexion, this muscles will do plantar flexion. Gastrocnemius and soleus. We'll see these muscles in dissection after lower limb starts. Okay, so this is dorsiflexion, this is plantar flexion. Clear? Okay, now clinical anatomy. What do you mean by osteomyelitis? Can you guess? What will be it? Itis. When we add itis to any word, what does it mean? Okay, so it's an infection of bone. Okay, so most commonly it occurs in the upper part of tibia, and fracture, most commonly fracture occurs in the shaft between the upper 2/3 and the lower 1/3, and union is very less because the blood supply is poor. That's why union will not occur. Okay, and which surface was subcutaneous? I told that you can feel it. Okay, anterior border, and surface medial surface. Okay, lower part of the medial surface is subcutaneous, so it can be used for bone graft. Okay, now meniscal tear. As I told, meniscus is present here. Okay, here will be medial meniscus, here will be lateral meniscus. Okay, so this meniscus will increase the surface area for this condyles, so that femoral condyles can fit in a proper way. Okay, so suppose your knee is flexed and someone gives a twisting force to your knee. Normally what happens, the meniscus should move with those femoral condyles. Okay, normally, but if it does not occur, there is like a longitudinal split will be there in this meniscus, which is known as bucket handle type of tear. You can see this meniscus. These are the meniscus. Okay, this is the medial one. This is the lateral one. So you can see this longitudinal split here. This is known as bucket handle tear of meniscus. Okay. If this meniscus doesn't move with the femoral condyles, it will occur. Okay, and most commonly injury is most common in medial meniscus, because medially which ligament will be there? Which collateral ligament? Medial collateral ligament. So it will hold the medial meniscus. So it will not be able to move along with the condyle. So injury is most common in medial meniscus. Okay. Transverse or march fracture, it is just fracture of the shaft of the tibia, upper end of the shaft of the tibia. Okay. Boot top fracture, people wearing rigid boots, they sometimes undergo low transverse fracture of tibia and fibula. And transverse shaft will be fractured, transverse, you know, transverse, longitudinal. Okay. Osgood-Schlatter disease, see, this is transverse. Okay. Clear? See, this is Osgood-Schlatter disease. Okay, sometimes what happens in case of athletes, there is some traction. Traction means pull over the tibial tuberosity, due to which there is inflammation of this tibial tuberosity. This is known as Osgood-Schlatter disease. Clear? Everyone? Understood? You can see this picture here. Okay? Okay.